This is a short instructional video on how I make Kitchari. There's a lot of different ways to make Kitchari. Kitchari is an Ayurvedic recipe that really is easy to digest, gives you energy, and also has the perfect protein. The rice and the mung dal beans combined, cooked together, make the perfect protein. So what I've done so far is just turn the stove on, poured a little bit of ghee. It's about 2 tablespoons, but I didn't measure it. I just poured it in there. It's really more about feeling. The more and more you do it, kind of sense what you want that day. Ayurveda is very intuitive, so if you feel you need more ghee. If you don't eat ghee, you could use sesame oil is really the best. Non-toasted, organic, cold-pressed sesame oil would be the next best thing. You could use coconut oil. So it's starting to look like it's getting warm. So here's the spices. The spices are cumin, fennel, coriander seeds, turmeric, fenugreek, asafoetida, mustard seed, brown mustard seed. Again, the spices can also vary. Generally, you have turmeric, fennel, coriander. And so now what I'll do is I'm going to let that saute. I put the timer on 2 minutes, and I let the spices saute in the ghee for about 2 minutes. And it releases all their oils, and it starts to smell good.
It smells delicious.
About 1 minute left or so, give or take. Once it starts smelling delicious, you pretty much know it's a good time to go ahead and add the rice and the mung dal beans. Now you can soak them overnight. You don't have to soak the rice, but you definitely want to soak the mung dal beans, and at least for 30 minutes. One time I forgot to, and I soaked them for 30 minutes and it was fine, but I prefer to soak overnight or for a few hours. So I'll set the timer again for 2 minutes. And what I do now is I'm mixing the rice and the mung dal beans with the spices. So I'm sauteing them together in the ghee. And you want to use yellow mung dal beans, not the green ones. Yellow, not green. And now the timer is about to go off. It's been 2 minutes. So I'm just going to stop the timer and add water. There's so many different ways to make Kitchari. If you want it to be more of a soupy dish, you add more water. If you're cooking vegetables in it as well, you add more water. I like it more soupy, so I usually add more water. Once I'm happy with the amount of water, I might add more, but right now I'm happy. What I'm doing now is turning it on to high, so I want to bring it to a boil. Now the water is starting to bubble a little bit, it's getting ready to be boiling. So what I'm going to do is add my asparagus and root vegetable. I'm going to add a yellow beet, but be quiet because Ryan doesn't know he doesn't know it's a beet and he doesn't like beets, so shh. I love you. Thank you for nourishing me. Bless this Kitchari. In Ayurveda, it's important what kind of energy is going into the food. So if I was really upset right now in making this food, that energy would go into the food and then to the people that are consuming the Kitchari. Fortunately, I'm in a great mood. And I just came back from a nature walk where I was learning about edible weeds. So there's a lot of awesome energy going in here. I to chant and sometimes just put my hands over the food and just send it love. But also singing, chanting, you could recite poetry. I mean, any positive, intentional thinking that the cook has while cooking is added to the food. So that's another reason why in Ayurveda it's generally better to cook for yourself and eat at home, because you know where stuff came from and what energy the cook or cooks had when they were preparing the food. I like that. I think it's important. All right. Kitchari should be done now. So you can smell it. Yummy. As soon as you take the top off. Right, so this is still pretty soupy. If I had people that didn't want it soupy, then I could, drain some of the liquid off. But most of society needs more water anyway. So this is why I like it, this kind of consistency, like a ricey veggie soup almost. All right, Kitchari is done. It smells delicious. My tummy's ready for it. So just experiment, have fun, try different ratios, try different spices based on how you intuitively feel or the season. Try making it more liquidy, less liquids, and just play, and you'll figure out the type of kitchari that you like the best. And there's no two kitcharis that are the same. So it's been so fun to share with you. Enjoy.